Today marks 1711 day of day lessons, day reflections. And yesterday I shared about lesson that you can learn from the nature, from clouds. And I was thinking today that I was listening to music, specifically classic music. It's interesting that I really started loving that music a lot, and it's partly is that I think that my nervous system is in different stage. I used to be in the past. I used to love house. I used to be grind, hustle. And sometimes with that kind of nervous system, you don't like music that is peaceful. You're looking for music that is emotional, that brings some sort of emotions. And I think that now, because my nervous system changed, my way of living changed, and if the default emotions have changed to really peace and content. Now I think that because of that, I think that I attached to that my music tastes have changed, and I really love classical music because it brings that peace and it resonates with my energy levels right now. And it's such an interesting thing because I think that we have a tendency to really crave music that is it's aligning and in our vibrations. And I think that classical music is a beautiful thing for me right now. And I was thinking that we're able to learn from nature, but we're able to learn from music. So I think there's a lot of things that you can learn from music, but today we'll focus on seven things that I thought that is such an important thing that really resonates with me about music. So number one, silence matters as much as sound. Silence means as much as sound. So that means when you really listen to music, there's those pauses in the music, the silence in music really makes a difference. And I think that in life is exactly the same thing. That means that when you're listening to your friend, to your loved one, sometimes you don't need to make a sound. The only thing that you need to do is really give that silence, and it will bring everything what you need to know. Silence is such an important thing. And I think that when we really have a big day coming in, sometimes being able to really give silence to yourself, that solitude before big days, so you can really go and pursue big things. Because if we just always grinding and grinding and grinding, it's very hard to really grind altogether. So sometimes we need to give ourselves that rest, that silence mode, just to make sure that we're able to really achieve the best with the sound, with that action. Because it's interesting because that that solitude, that reflection is that silence that is necessary to really to make that sound better. Number two is tension creates beauty. So that when you look into music, it's really the artists of music is such an amazing thing because they're able to really create the tension. The tension creates and races and races and races, and at some point it reaches maximum and then it goes down. But I think that in life is exactly the same thing. We're able to really see that tension and not be afraid of tension, and that tension building up, building up, building up before we're able to really achieve that destination that we want. Because without building up of tension, it's very, very hard to really succeed in life. And sometimes we're able to ask our lives, is my tension building up? And what is the reason? Because if this tension is building up because you don't take action, that's a bad tension. But if tension is building up because you're really moving to the right direction, it's like I'm moving, I'm taking action, I'm moving the needle forward, and because I'm getting closer to my goal, to my destination, and because of that, this tension is growing. That's the beautiful, beautiful thing. Number three is repetition transforms us. It's interesting. Some music when you listen, that repetition of the same thing over and over and over again, it really makes such a beautiful thing. But at the same time, we that repetition transforms us. At the same time, in music, you're able to really look into that. You want to repeat and repeat the same song over and over and over again because it resonates. And at some point, that music becomes part of you. You're going on the street, you're going even in nature, and really feel that music within you. And I think that's exactly how it is with repetition. We need to really repeat and repeat and repeat, and until things that we're repeating. And we need to those repeat by choice because sometimes repeating things that is bad, and still it becomes part of us, who we are, and wherever we go, we carrying it, what we repeated. Number four, harmony does not require sameness. And this is the beautiful, as I mentioned yesterday, that clouds could be that there's so many different clouds, blue, gray, white, whitish, like it's so many clouds, and it creates that harmony. At the same time, they're able to really align themselves. At the same time with music, You don't need same note. That's not a harmony. That means I think in life, exactly, we able to do so many different notes. So many different notes. A good ones, a bad ones. So just to make sure that we create a harmony. And harmony is when we're playing all the notes. Rather than saying that I don't like those notes. And I think that in life we have a tendency to do, like including myself, that sometimes we have internally notes. The feelings, the emotions, and rather than really implementing somehow in our lives and treating them well, we deny them, they hate them, and we don't nurture the parts of ourselves, and part of us is neglected, and then that doesn't create harmony, that creates sameness. And I think that if we want to be unique, we need to really implement every aspect of ourselves and not be afraid of our parts of ourselves, that potentially we need to love ourselves in every part of ourselves, even the parts that we do not like, because when we start to hate it, we never nurture those parts. Uh, Next one is timing is everything. It's interesting that the right note in the wrong time will sound wrong. And the same thing is in our life. The right action in the wrong time will sound wrong. That means sometimes we need to speak, sometimes we need to act, sometimes we need to wait, sometimes we need to accelerate. So that means if we're supposed to listen but we speak, that's the wrong time, and we could theoretically we can really destroy relations by doing that. By speaking when we're supposed to listen. Or sometimes we need to do wait between taking actions. We're supposed to reflect between taking actions. Sometimes we supposed to take action but we reflect. So it is always asking like, is this the right time for my action? Is this the right time for my thought? Is this the right time? Because timing is such an important thing. Because when I even look into a business, it says that one of the biggest things for majority of startups who really succeed in a big time, in a big way, the timing of that startup was one of the key aspects of their true success. The next one is you cannot hold music still. Imagine trying to hold this music still. That it's impossible. If you make music still, what happens? It's silence. It's nothing. It disappears. All the beauty disappears when you really make it still. Exactly the same with life. You're not able to stop the life and really this is a life and this is what I want to keep. No, the life will keep flowing and we need to really enjoy the flow, not the stillness of life, not the stillness of music. Stillness is a beautiful word. To be able to use stillness in 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 life in the flow, but not we're supposed to not seek stillness out of life, out of music. So I mean, stillness could be within the music. Could be stillness could be within the flow, but not stopping the life altogether, because that disappears. So movement is all about the seasons, youth, emotions, and life itself, and I think that's extremely important. And last one, number seven, is a melody can return changed. Such interesting. There are some melodies. It's and the probably the best example is cover. That means that there's a song, that the original song, and there's other performers who really use the same song, the same melody, but bringing it to a whole different view of the same melody, a little bit slower, a little bit faster. And I think that way I think that we're able to look into our own life. Sometimes we look into our past actions, past behaviors, past thought patterns, perspective, and they come back, but now they are totally changed because we changed. Now we act differently, we reflect differently, we have different perspectives, and because of that, our actions are a little bit different than before. Even though we are in the same situation, but we are a little bit different, and because of that, it is even the same situation will be changed. It's such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing. So I hope that you reflect as well. What would you learn from music? Because music, I found it such a important part of life. So I think that we're supposed to enjoy because music brings ability to really reflect even better, connect with your soul better, resonate with your energy levels. I think it's such a beautiful thing. I used to believe that music is nonsense in the past, even though I used to listen sometimes. But I listen to music right now a little bit more than I used to listen in the past. And sometimes I even trade off between like I could listen to a book or I could listen to a music. In the past, I always used to listen just books alone, never music by myself. Now I just including even music into my life because I think that that brings stillness, it brings peace and brings content, bringing attention, bringing focus. And with that focus and with that great emotion, now when I'm going back to the books, I'm able to really internalize those books much, much, much better. And I think that that's such an important lesson to learn about importance of music. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.